Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 355 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest-running recruiting education podcast. Today's episode is a review of the interview with the college basketball coach, Coach Randy Stange. Episodes 352 and 353 give you part 1 and part 2 of this interview. Coach Stange is the head coach of men's basketball at Sterling College, an NAIA school in Sterling, Kansas. Randy was a high school standout, played 2 years of junior college basketball at Hutchinson Community College, and 2 more years at Division I, Southwest Missouri State, now Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. Randy has coached at the NCAA Division I level, the junior college level, and now the NAIA level. He has also been the athletic director at Hutchinson Community College, Johnson County Community College, and the Springfield, Missouri High School District, which is made up of 5 high schools. I met Randy when I was in college, and I was a student manager and a practice player for the Southwest Missouri State basketball team. Randy was a grad student coach and a volunteer coach when I was helping out with the Bears under Coach Charlie Spoonhour. Go back and listen to the full interview in episodes 352 and 353. You can listen on your favorite podcast app or go to recruit-me.com. On recruit-me.com, you can listen to other interviews from past episodes, interviews with a college golf coach, other men's basketball coaches, and some college baseball coaches. There are other interviews with an ACT prep tutor, a mindset mentor, and a college academic advisor. More interviews are available as I interviewed current and past college athletes and parents of college athletes, as we highlighted not only their recruitment, but their high school and college experience. The reason I am doing this episode as a review of the interview with Coach Randy Stange is because I found it as beneficial for you, the student athlete, or the student athlete's parents, for me to expand on subjects that were brought up in the interview. Most of the time we run out of time to expand on these subjects in the actual interview, or sometimes I don't realize how helpful a statement may be during the interview. So let's get into and pull out some of the subjects from the interview with Coach Randy Stange. This interview focuses on college basketball, but many of the recruiting advice nuggets we get in these interviews can be adjusted to all or many other sports situations. Early in part 1 of Randy's interview, I asked him to give us his background, both playing and coaching. Randy explained that after playing in high school, he went to Hutchinson Community College and played 2 years. Then he backpedaled and said he really just played 1 year, as he didn't play much his freshman year of junior college. This phrase brought up an issue I see a lot when a student athlete makes a move from high school to college. This issue is handling sitting the bench for probably the first time in their careers. As Randy says later in the interview, he really struggled his first year as a freshman at Hutchinson Community College, but he thinks he learned more his freshman year by being a bench player at a junior college than he did from playing and starting almost every game his senior year at a Division I program. He said his freshman year was really tough, and he was just trying to survive. And survive he did as he excelled his sophomore year at Hutchinson Community College, and parlayed that into getting to play at a newly instituted NCAA Division I program. Recruit Me wants to help you not only get a scholarship and a spot on a college team, but to help you to prepare for your college experience. The 7 steps to an athletic scholarship in the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system guides you through the process of building a list of parameters, a list of colleges, and gives you tools to research your wants and needs that form your ultimate decision on a college. There is never a perfect fit, but the more research and the more boxes you check, the more of a good fit your college will be. Unforeseen circumstances like coaching changes and COVID affected my oldest son's college career. He made it through his freshman year, the year before COVID, and he got to pitch more innings and in more games than both he and I expected. Through Parker's research on Northwestern, where he pitched for 4 years and has graduated, he found a fit in both academics and baseball. His roster research showed that the team recruits 7 to 8 new players a year. They traveled and played 27 to 30 players, about 5 less than most Division I teams, and that he was the only lefty in the recruiting class and only one of 2 pitchers in his class, and that Northwestern doesn't get very many transfers, in or out, per year. He meshed well with both the players and the coaches and performed well in the fall portion of the team's workouts and the fall games to earn the confidence of the coaches to be able to start 9 games in the spring season, 2 of them conference games, and he pitched 36 innings, almost double the amount he thought he would pitch his first year. But then his sophomore year was cut down by the season shutdown because of COVID. His junior year was odd as the Big Ten Conference started their year 1 month late and restricted all games to conference-only games, and they canceled the conference tournament. Then his senior year had a coaching change, and he had some injuries, but he got to pitch in games in the last half of the season, mainly in relief. Parker's 4 years were benefited both physically and mentally by knowing what kind of competition he was getting into, and by finding the right academic and campus fit that suited him when baseball wasn't going great. Sutton, my youngest son, just finished his freshman year of college at Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. Sutton's season consisted of pinch running and courtesy running. Sutton's main asset is his speed, and when he made the decision to go to the NAIA level Columbia College, the coach said that his freshman year would consist of mainly a running role. The team is very good, coming off a 2022 record of 38-14, and just finishing a regular season and conference tournament record of 40-14. Sutton competed in 23 games, scoring 9 runs and getting 3 stolen bases. He also got to play in 1 inning in the outfield and got 1 at-bat in a game. By knowing the situation he was committing to, Sutton's attitude and acceptance of his role got him on the field or on the base paths, and his academics and campus life made his freshman year a success. Here's a question for you. Could you handle a freshman year like Sutton's? Are you willing to sit the bench on game day? Are you willing to use the practices as your games and learn what you need to do to win a spot for your sophomore or junior year? So Coach Stange's point about his lack of playing time his freshman year brings up the subject, how will you handle riding the pine, if that is a situation that you get into? Another point that I pulled out of this interview with Coach Randy Stange was how COVID has affected recruiting. You were probably affected by COVID during your high school career, as my son was, and Parker was affected in his college career. Well, because many college athletes were granted an extra year of eligibility, and because of the transfer portal, you may be affected by this residual of COVID. Coach Stange pointed this out. He said because of COVID, recruiting is backed up. He said for current high school seniors, it makes finding a basketball spot a little different than normal. He thinks it's going to even out in a couple years. He says as a college coach, you may have to make a decision on whether you're going to recruit high school kids or going after junior college players and transfers. He also pointed out that players are going into the transfer portal if they are not satisfied with their situation, and also if they feel that they can improve their situation, if they have played a lot and want to go up to a level of play. I asked Coach Stange how a student athlete can get his attention. Randy peeked into his team's philosophy, and that video and an advocate for a player is important. He says that either he will watch a film or have an assistant coach watch a film, but they may not respond to every one of them. He says he understands that every video is probably going to be the best 5 minutes of a player's career, but he is actually looking for other skills in videos. For basketball, he wants to see other skills besides shooting a three-pointer or dunking. Ball handling, passing, rebounding, and defensive skills are what he is looking for. Depending on your sport, just having a skill may or may not get you a look. Sutton's speed, athletic ability, and his arm strength combination got him to a college program. Parker's left-handed pitching and his ability to throw strikes and to induce ground balls got him a spot too. Both of my sons asked coaches specifically if they, the coaches, were needing their specific skills. A team that you want to play for may be full of three-point shooters and are needing a defensive stopper or a playmaker to get the ball to those three-point shooters. Coach Stange said he is currently recruiting for guards, and he has the unusual circumstance of having big guys for the next 2 years. At some time in your communications with coaches, ask what specific player or skills they are looking for and see if you can fit their need. Coach Stange also wants to talk to the player's coach or coaches. He wants to know the type of program that they are coming out of and the style of play that they have been accustomed to. He wants a player that has been coached, a player that has been in a system that requires team play, and that player has had to play on the defensive side of the game and hasn't been comfortable his whole high school career. Coach Stange said in the interview that he is glad that you make a three-pointer, but he also said he needs to see and know that you have a combination of skills. Can you put it on the floor? Can you make a shot? And can you guard someone? I asked Coach Stange some of the differences between the levels of play. He has coached in the junior college ranks, NCAA Division I, and the NAIA level. He said that scholarship-wise or financially, the Division I and the junior college levels are a little easier, since the NCAA Division I men's basketball is a head count sport, or gets full athletic scholarships if an offer is made. A Division I men's basketball scholarship offer is a full ride, or a walk-on offer with no athletic scholarship is also a possibility. Junior colleges have more scholarship money available and can offer a full ride scholarship, but it is not an automatic full ride. The NCAA Division II and the NAIA level are equivalency sports and have a limited number of athletic scholarships to give. So an athletic scholarship offer is normally a partial scholarship or a percentage, maybe a 25% or a 50% athletic scholarship. Listen to episodes 216 and 217 to get an in-depth insight into athletic scholarships. Listen on your favorite podcast app or on recruit-me.com. NCAA Division III does not offer any athletic scholarships, but like Division II and NAIA, can and does give academic scholarships or need-based scholarships to help pay for tuition, books, housing, and food. The new NIL, Name, Image, and Likeness, is a new tool for student-athletes to gain money to pay for their school's expenses. Coach Stange said every recruit wants to know, what am I going to get? What is the bottom line? And at the NAIA level, he has to help the student-athlete find the dollars to meet what the student-athlete and their family can afford to pay to go to school and to play college basketball. Lastly, Coach Stange pointed out that college basketball is faster and more physical than any other high school game he has seen. Learning to deal with the speed and the physical play has to be done your freshman and sophomore years of college, or if a team has a JV or reserve squad, or by playing at a junior college. He said when you, the player, figure out how to play at the varsity level, then the player is ready to play for him. He said many players fall away in the first 2 years because either they don't find a way to play at the upper level or they get impatient during their first 2 years and don't stick it out for their last 2 years. I told him I challenged my 2 sons to give it 2 years and then make a decision to continue to play in college. Parker's decision was easy for him because he lost his sophomore year to COVID, but he could have played an additional 5th year of baseball, and he decided to finish his degree and go to grad school and start his professional business life. Sutton will start his 2nd year of college and will be working hard to gain playing time his sophomore year. Go back and listen to both episodes of the interview with Coach Randy Stange, episodes 252 and 253. If you have any questions for me or for Coach Stange, email me, brent@recruit-me.com. Also, if there are any subjects you would like for me to cover on the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, email me and I'll look into it. Go to recruit-me.com to get the free recruiting power pack and take advantage of all of RecruitMe's free and inexpensive recruiting resources. I'd like to thank these people for downloading the free power pack on recruit-me.com. Ethan from Missouri, Andrew from Virginia, Brian from Illinois, Devin from California, and Aubrey and Carrie from New York. Go to recruit-me.com and get your free recruiting power pack to get you a great start to your recruiting journey. Next week's episode 356, is an interview with Coach Barry Henson. Barry Henson moved from an analyst for the men's basketball team at Oklahoma State to a new job, Associate Athletic Director and Director of NIL, or Name, Image, and Likeness, at Oklahoma State University. We will dive into Barry's new job and what NIL means to student athletes in college. Join me next week for another 15 minutes of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast that will change your athletic scholarship future.